Good buzz YouTube, how's it going everybody? Got for y'all today a Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle against the one and only Ash Ketchum, except not really. I think I got this maybe around the third time I streamed, I don't remember, but I did rewatch it and it turned out to be a close fun battle. Plus, I get to show off the new big threat, Adamant Choice Banded Adaptability Crawdaunt, and this thing is such a monster. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Anyways, I know I didn't upload the past 2 days. Reason being is that I was actually really busy with work. I had a lot of hours, but I got a nice paycheck, so I was happy about that. I also said I would stream Saturday or Sunday, but I kind of never did because I realized that I'm lazy and was really tired from work. So we'll try to stream sometime this week because I really do want to stream. Also, my last day of class is Wednesday, so I will be done with this semester. I'll be going back sometime in January, which means I would definitely be able to continue continue the daily uploads for this month, so that should be great. Anyways, I don't want to ramble on too much. Now, looking at my team, I don't have a Stealth Rocker, and I just kind of noticed that. Normally I'm a guy that always likes to have Stealth Rocks on his team, but my opponent doesn't have Stealth Rocks either, so it isn't a big deal. And we both have Excadrills for rapid spinning, although he has a Klefki, which could get up hazards, spikes to be exact, but I should be able to deal with those relatively well, because I mean, Excadrill can beat Chandelure one-on-one. I can just Earthquake as it comes in, and if the rain is up, I should be able to live any hit that it wants to go for. I have Choice Specs Politoed, much like the previous battle, because Choice Specs Politoed is a monster. I have Physically Defensive Nasty Plot Togekiss, which is also a monster. As I said, Excadrill for Rapid Spin, Assault Vest Goodra, Choice Banded Crawdaunt, which is sexy, and then finally off Mega Medicham, because I really like Mega Medicham. That's probably one of my top 3 favorite Megas. It's definitely underrated in my opinion. Nobody really uses it, and I don't know why. It's a very fun Pokemon. Anyways, looking at my opponent's team, the only real threat I see is going to be that Scizor, because if it turns out to be a bulky SD Mega Scizor, which it most likely might be, then that thing could sweep through my team, so I really have to watch out for that and make sure that it does not get up a free Swords Dance, or if it gets up 2 free Swords Dances, the battle's over. But yeah, I'm going to be leading off with my Politoed because I knew I could just get up my rain right off the bat, as he's going to be leading off with the Klefki. And as soon as I saw this, I was thinking, please go for spikes, please go for spikes, and he goes for the Thunder Wave. If he has Swagger, I quit, and then I get fully paralyzed. So yeah, turn 1, things are, he has Swagger. I'll be perfectly honest, at this point when I saw Swagger, I was like, I'm not even going to battle this dude, I'm just going to run next turn. But my Politoed is a monster! And I break through the confusion and paralysis, and I'm going to be able to get off a huge hit on the Klefki. This is why you do not use Thunder Wave, Swagger, Klefki. It's not fun to face. I don't even want to use that. And I actually get lucky enough to get the burn, and I'm going to be able to knock him out as he turns out to have the red card and brings me into my Goodra. Obviously, he's going to bring in the Chansey, and I can't stay in because I only have specially based moves, and Chansey is a massive special wall. So, predicting him to want to go for the Toxic or the Thunder Wave, I'm going to make the safe switch into my Excadrill, and then predicting him to bring in his own Excadrill or bring in the Dragonite, I'm actually going to go for the Rock Slide, and the reason why is because most Excadrills tend to carry air balloons, so I thought that I would be able to break the balloon on his Excadrill and then knock it out with the Earthquake, but it turns out that he actually has leftovers, so that's going to be a little bit more manageable, although it is going to be a little harder to take it down. I'm not really too worried about Excadrill anyways, and I believe I do just end up staying in, and I go for an Earthquake as he predicts it. He's going to bring in his Dragonite, then predicting him to predict me to switch out, I'm actually going to stay in and I'm going to go for the Toxic. This way I can find out if he has Lumberry or the Weakness Policy, and it turns out that he might actually have the Weakness Policy, as I'm able to get the Toxic off. In hindsight, I really should have switched out because Excadrill definitely would have been a good member in this battle to have around, but that was just a really stupid play on my part, and now I'm going to get a free switch into my Politoed because I want to try to get up my rain, then bring in my Togekiss, which means I will 100% wall this Dragonite. It will be able to do nothing to me, and that's what I'm going to do as he actually switches into his Chansey, most likely expecting me just to go for a Scald, Surf, or a Hydro Pump. And obviously, again, I can't stay in on this Chansey because it's a massive special wall, so I am going to be forced to switch up. And this is where having Excadrill would have come in handy, because now he can easily stay in after going for the aromatherapy and go for the Toxic. So I'm going to go for the knockoff, and look at, did you see how much damage that did? Good lord, Crawdaunt. that's a chansey, and just about every chance he's like max defense, max HP, or max defense, max special defense with the bold nature, but still, that did a lot of damage. As he's able to toxic me, I'm going to be able to get rid of the chansey, so my Excadrill literally went down in vain without it doing nothing, although I did find out that he doesn't have a Lumberry, and most likely is a weakness policy, so I can kind of watch out for that. As he brings in the Scizor, I'm going to predict him to Mega Evolve and go for a Bullet Punch, and because I do resist that, I am going to be able to easily take it, and I'm going to go for the knockoff, and that did like 65%. That's actually pretty impressive if you ask me, especially because you can't knock off. Well, wait, is the power doubled when you knock off the item, or if your opponent is holding an item? I think it's when the item is knocked off. So the fact that the Scizorite can't be knocked off means that that knockoff did a whole lot of damage. And anyways, I predict him to go for the U-turn, a Bullet Punch, and I'm going to bring in my Goodra, but he predicts that he's going to go for the Roost. And then this turn, he ends up going for the U-turn, all now to his Excadrill. I can just safely go for the Fire Blast because I'm pretty positive he's not going to risk a possible Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor and switch into his Dragonite. As I catch the incoming Excadrill, unfortunately, I do not do as much damage as I thought it would. I thought it would actually knock him out. And then I thought it would also outspeed him because he seems to be a very bulky variant. And yeah, he just knocks out my Goodra, which means that Chandelure has kind of become of a problem now, because my Goodra was going to be the main way I have to stop that Chandelure, and with that being gone, this is really not going good for me. So I'll bring in my Medicham. I'm going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. I'm expecting him to maybe want to stay in just to see what I want to do, so I'm going to go for the safe Ice Punch, but he actually ends up switching into his Chandelure, maybe expecting me to go for the high jump kick. And I don't want to stay in on the off chance that he has Choice Scarf, so I'm going to make the safe switch into my Politoed, which is the best thing on my team, to take a Shadow Ball or a possible Flamethrower. As he does end up going for the Flamethrower, I'm going to be able to easily take that because it is in the rain, and it is Flamethrower, and I'm a Politoed. As it turns out that he's Life Orb, this means that now my Chandelure will be able to outspeed it and knock it out with the Zen Headbutt when it is Medicham against Chandelure again. As he brings in the Dragonite, did you see how much damage that Skull did? The damage of Skull to Dragonite in rain from Modest Choice X Politoed is 38 to 45%, I believe. So, yeah, Choice X Politoed is a monster, and I even end up getting the Burn Hacks, which is going to be helpful to me. But then again, I don't think it was honestly game-changing, because, I mean, I do have Togekiss, which can literally beat Dragonite one-on-one. So yeah, in the end, I don't think the burn was game-changing, although it did speed up the process of me knocking out this Dragonite, and this is why this is sped up. It's just him firing off the Dragonite. If you didn't see there, I did go for a Nasty Plot, I believe, the second turn, so I am a +2. As he brings in the Scizor, I know from prior experience I can live a Bullet Punch, so I'm gonna go for the Air Slash. Unfortunately for him, though, I do get a crit. Now, much like before, I don't think this was game-changing, just because of the fact that I could have brought in my Politoed, fired that off, then brought in my Crawdaunt, Aqua Jetted the Scizor, or even possibly lived a Bullet Punch and then knocked it out with one of my appropriate stab moves. So yeah, in the end, I don't think it was game-changing. As he brings in the Excadrill, I live the Rock Slide, so this Togekiss is very bulky. People, use it. Use it. Just don't use it against me. It's a very good Pokemon. But he's going to be able to knock me out with the second Rock Slide, although now I can get a free switch back into my Politoed because I want to be able to get the rain up, just because I want to get the rain up. That's really, I really have no other option. Or other, well, I do have other options. I just rather bring in Politoed, because this way I can ensure that an Aqua Jet will be able to knock out Chandelure, although it could have before because adaptability, stab, choice been adamant, 2 times super effective. In the end, just Politoed was definitely the safer play, is what I'm trying to say. So I lived the hit from Excadrill, and I'm going to be able to knock him out with the Scald. At this point, his last Pokemon is the Chandelure, which will be able to easily knock me out with the Shadow Ball, but then I can just bring in my Crawdaunt, click the Aqua Jet, and easily knock him out. So yeah, that's going to be the victory in my favor. As you can see, I really got to show off some Pokemon like Crawdaunt, Togekiss, and Politoed, 3 very fun Pokemon that I actually really like using. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the battle. If you did, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to some more content. As I said, I will definitely be doing daily uploads for the rest of this month, and then we'll see how January and the following months go. But yeah, with that, guys, I don't want to ramble on too much, and I will hopefully be seeing you guys soon. So later, everybody.